So, my first two tutorials were kind of intermediate level. But I was thinking I really want to get some basics down because there's some stuff I want to go into, and it'd be nice to say, reference this video. So today I just want to do go through the pen tool, how that works, and then clipping mask with it because it's just something to do with the pen tool. Super basic, kind of really the pen tool is in a lot of ways the foundation of Illustrator. We're going to learn how to just kind of how anchors and handles work, as well as adding anchors and getting rid of them and converting them. And yeah, so here we go. We'll just start with something to get a background out of, I figure, because I do this on Photo Booth, which I know might be funny to some people, but I kind of like being able to just drag it around and not needing to edit in post. But we'll crop my hand out from the background. I'll get my face out of it. Let's just. Okay, that's good enough. Just drag this in here and get rid of it. Okay. So now we have this really, really lovely picture of my hand. And I'll go through the pen tool, how we're just going to kind of crop the hand out from the rest of the background. It's a nice way to do it. It's tough to crop with the pen tool if you're dealing with like hair or something. There's kind of some other workarounds in Photoshop that we'll go over later. Photoshop's really good for cropping stuff out too. But this is just to show you clipping masks. It's not clipping masks don't even necessarily have to be for cropping stuff out. You can group stuff together and then cut them all in. But yeah, this is kind of just some basics. So the pen tool shortcut, what I was just doing was also Control minus to zoom out, or Command. I always jump between PC and Mac. Command minus and Command plus. And P is the pen tool shortcut right there, but it's also right here on the toolbar. And if you hold down on it, there's an add anchor point, delete anchor point, and anchor point tool. We'll go through all this. So the pen tool, I like to add a little stroke to it to start off with so you know where we're going. And also, we have to use our layers here. But anyways, I'll add my stroke, and since just kind of like to pick a color that'll show up, so we'll do this cyan and just keep the stroke at 1. That'll be fine for this. Over here, I want to create a new layer and lock the bottom one so that if I'm on the selection tool, I can't click any of it. It's just kind of a background now. So I'm going to go in, Command plus, and I'm going to crop out this hand. We'll just do the hand too. So to start with, you click a point, and then you can see this line shows you where it's going to be. If you're just making straight lines, you can click it. If you hold down Shift, it always keeps it at straight lines or 95-degree angles. So how you make them curved is instead of just clicking the next point, you hold it down and drag it. So I'm kind of following the hand, and this is using the pen tool is aggravating at first, but then you get the hang of it. It's really just practice. So you can kind of see how these handles are showing where the path is going to go, and the length of them adjusts the angles there. So I'll do this right there. It looks like there's a spot right here, and I'm always jumping in between my pen tool and my selection tool, which is A, also this white arrow here. See, direct selection. With this, we can go back to our anchor points and really adjust them. So this handle, see how long it is? That's why there's this space right here. So if I shorten that handle up, I'm closing down that space. And then to get back to where we were before, you just go back to P, to the pen tool, and click and hold to kind of get our lines back. And let's see. I guess for this, we'd probably be better off actually staying a little inside the hand, and I'll just kind of go fast here for a little bit, and then we'll go back and edit some. This isn't going to be perfect. If I wanted to do it perfect, honestly, if I wanted to do it perfect, I'd probably probably use Photoshop, and B, take a lot more time. But this will kind of make like a sticker almost of a hand. And I'm just gonna, let's see. You kind of want these handles to be following the line that you're gonna go to next. And so then, let's see, my workflow I'm normally, so then, let's see, if I go back to pen tool here, there's an add anchor point and delete anchor point tool. And what these do is you can add new anchors to your path, and the shortcuts are all labeled right here. That's P, what we were talking about, plus, minus, and then Shift and C for the anchor point tool. So I'm gonna click plus and add an anchor point here, because right now I really can't get that curve I went too few anchor points there. But with that anchor point, I'm back at the curve, pen tool, and going back, we'll have this dip down here. Follow along, scoop it up. Let's see, all right. You guys got the idea of this. So these fingers are gonna be even faster. I'm just gonna go through and really cutting off a lot of my fingers. They're gonna look like skeleton fingers, more so than they already do. Let's see. And the convert anchor is actually really nice too, because let's say if I just had, so if I click it, it's not making any pass. See how that's just kind of jagged? Now, if I want to go back and say, oh crap, I really need anchor points here, that's where going back to this anchor point tool is good, because then you click and drag, and now all of a sudden we have anchor points, and it's just like that. Kind of adjust it, and everything's super adjustable from any part, and it's super editable. We'll be able to fill this in if we want, add effects to it, gradients, whatever you want. What we're doing is we're making a vector shape. And well, since this is a beginning one, if you guys don't know what a vector shape is, it's basically a shape that's not defined by pixels or inches or anything. When you make a vector shape, you could scale it to be the size of the moon, and it'll be crystal clear, and you could scale it down to the size of a penny, and it'll be crystal clear. It'll be the same amount. You can even tell when you're zooming in. I mean, my hand's blurry there, but this line will stay crisp no matter what. So there, I did that. Now to make a clipping mask. First off, it needs to be a closed path. This is closed because from start to end, it's just the one shape. I can take away the stroke, fill it in, do whatever. And to make the clipping mask, however, you need to, first off, we have to unlock our lower layer, and then holding Shift and clicking the layer underneath it. Holding Shift, by the way, selects two things. If you click two things holding Shift, both are selected. So selecting both of these, or if you don't want to hold Shift, you can just kind of make a box around both. But then once you're there, you can right click and say make clipping mask, or up at the top bar here, you can go to Object, Clipping Mask, Make. It's loading. Ta-da! So now we got a really creepy hand for your viewing pleasure. Take that, add an effect if we want. And yeah, you know, like I said, nothing special, but that is the pen tool and clipping mask. It's a good way to practice the clipping mask by just kind of cropping stuff out. I'm sorry, a good way to practice the pen tool is by cropping stuff out using the clipping mask. It comes up all the time. It's a super, super basic feature, and all vector shapes kind of have anchor points and handles, and it's a different way of thinking about things. You're not actually drawing with a pencil as much. But that's how people make these really clean, crisp designs, is using stuff like the pen tool and holding down shift to make lines straight, putting it on graphs too. Graphs are sweet. I'll do a different tutorial with graphs at some point. But yeah, in this tutorial, I understand it's quick, but it'll be a good reference for future ones, because the pen tool and the anchors are going to come up again. And it'd be nice to say, if you don't know this, check it out. All right, once again, thank you guys. CarlCoDesign.com. Follow me on Instagram, CarlCoDesign. And yes, thank you. All right, have a good one, everyone, and stop screen recording. Bye.